Hey, it's a great day, right? All right, it is a great day today. Well, thank you all very much for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion. As you know, the Senate just passed it unanimously, the ADA restoration bill. It now goes to the House. I haven't really checked with our leader here on the House, but I assume they'll be taking it up shortly. I'll let you talk.
We're going to try to find time for it.
Right. But I just, so many people to thank, and I always forget someone when I start mentioning names and stuff. But first, I can't thank enough my great partner and friend and colleague for all these years, Orrin Hatch, for all the great work that Orrin did to get this thing through. And of course, we were lockstep on the ADA bill back in the 80s when we worked on that, and starting in about 88, 89, and then 90. And we've worked on a few other things together since then, things like DeShay and a few other things we don't need to talk about here, but we've worked on a lot of things together. But I couldn't have asked for a better partner and a better leader. I can honestly say we wouldn't be here today had it not been for the great leadership and effort of Senator Orrin Hatch on our side. I want to thank especially my House colleague, Steny Hoyer. Again, back in the 80s when we were doing the ADA, Steny Hoyer was one of the first people out of the box in the mid-80s, fighting hard to make sure we got a comprehensive civil rights bill for people with disabilities. And that was back, that was back in the mid-80s, Steny. That was back about the time I left the House and came to the Senate. Jim Sensenbrenner, again, thank you for your great leadership in helping us get here. Again, showing the true bipartisan nature of this. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Cheryl Sensenbrenner. Where is she? Anyway, right here, Cheryl. I lost track. Again, for all that she has done to get us here, to get this bill in and get it moving. And all the other people that work so hard, all of the staff people that work so hard to negotiate this through. My gosh, I assume if I start mentioning people, I'll lose someone. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Andy Imperato. Andy, who just provided great leadership in bringing all the disability groups together. Andy, thank you very much. Nancy Zirkin here from the Leadership Conference. Again, thank you for getting all the civil rights groups together and backing us up on this. You did a great job there. A couple of other people I might mention that not here. Someone said Bob Kafka was going to be here. I didn't mention him earlier on the floor, and that was my mistake. But I want to thank Bob Kafka and ADAP for all that they've done through all the years to heighten our sensibilities on the issues. This way, I can still remember the turning point on ADA originally in 1990 was when I got this call from Kafka once, and he said, you better watch TV tonight. And I said, why? And he said, well, we're going to do something at the Capitol. And I thought, oh my gosh, what's Kafka going to do? And that was the day they rolled all their wheelchairs up and got out and climbed up the steps of the Capitol. Made evening news all over America, and that sort of just turned the tide. That was it. I think that was sort of the one little thing that got everybody on board on the original ADA bill. I would also just again thank all of my staff. I'm not going to mention them all. I mentioned them on the floor, and all of Orrin's staff, Steny's, Jim Sensenbrenner's staff. So many people work so hard. Let me also thank, we think of the disability groups, but I'll tell you, we wouldn't be here also if it weren't for the involvement of the business community and their willingness to sit down with us over a long period of time and negotiate this out in tough negotiations. But we did the same thing back in the 80s with the business community. We got it done, and we got it done again. And I just would be remiss if I didn't thank the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Mike Eastman, Randy Johnson. Who's here? Randy's here, I know. Is Mike here too? Mike back? Oh yeah, Mike and Randy, thank you very much for hanging in there with us through all those long negotiations. Mike Peterson, the Human Resources Policy Association. Is Mike here? He was also involved for a long time. Jerry Gillespie, National Association of Manufacturers. Is she here? Well, Jerry is also very instrumental in this. Mike Aitken, Society of Human Resources Management. Is Mike here either? Well, all of these people from the business community, again, I thank you so much for hanging in there with us and making sure we got a good bill here that could be supported broadly in a good bipartisan national effort, and I can't thank you enough. Well, what can I say? I think we're at the point now where we're going to have good instructions to the Supreme Court and to all the courts as to what we originally intended in the ADA. Maybe we put it in report language. Now we got it in legislative language, so they can't make any mistakes on this in the future. I think it's going to help us in so many ways to, again, make sure that people with disabilities aren't caught in that catch-22, where if I take my medicine or if I use an assistive device, that might enable me to get a job, but then I'm not covered under ADA. However, if I don't take my medicine and I don't use an assistive device, I'm covered by ADA, but I can't get the job. So again, this is going to clear this up and again, I think open the door of opportunities for millions of people with disabilities in our country, and I think it's going to make it much better for reasonable accommodations in the workplace and everything else. Lastly, I would again be remiss if I didn't thank one person I see standing here who was the key person in our staff in the 1980s, helped us get the original ADA. He's hung in there ever since. He may not have been in every one of our negotiations, but I can tell you we always call him for advice and consultation, and is still one of our great leaders in this country on disability policy, Bobby Silverstein. Right back here, Bobby. Thank you. So many people to thank, but all of you I see out here, Hy, Feldblum, and others who just helped us through all these negotiations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now our challenge is the House. We passed it unanimously in the Senate. Okay, beat that in the House, okay? And we'll get it down to the President and get it signed.